It's finally out, everybody. The second part of my Super Meat Boy challenge, Can You Beat Super Meat Boy with randomized characters? If you were one of the people who just finished watching my first video, you already know that we barely made it through the light world. But now we're taking this challenge to Super Meat Boy's infamously harder side, the dark world. The light world was child's play compared to what we're about to go through, and I was ready to be sent through the ringer. So, it's time to take our training wheels off and hope we can return with all of our teeth, because we're about to go on a journey to answer the question, can you beat Super Meat Boy's Dark World with randomized characters? Like last time, we need to beat all 20 levels in each world. I'm going to be playing through Dark Worlds 1 through 5, and I won't be doing Worlds 6 and 7 because they force you to play as Meat Boy and Bandage Girl, which isn't in the spirit of the challenge. Unlike last time though, I'm giving myself a total of 4 rerolls. I didn't allow any rerolls for our Light World challenge, but with 100 levels, which are way harder than their originals, I felt it was fair because it comes out to less than 1 reroll per world, and we can easily get stuck at any point 4 levels in a row. If you're watching this video first, I highly recommend you pause this video and check out my first one, and come back when you're done, because I cover a lot of information on the characters and the game, which I won't be doing in this one. It's a little longer of a watch, but I promise you, you won't regret it. And finally, with all that being said, we headed straight into World 1, the Forest. Level 1, we got Fly Wrench. We died 3 times attempting to reach Bandage Girl, but we finally turned our brain on and went the other way. If you remember the Light World version of this level, there were no hazards in this area to die on, so this gives a bit of a look into our future of how hard this might get. For level 2, we got... Dude, what? This game wants us to fail or something. You give me Fly Wrench twice in a row? What did I do to hurt you? Fly Wrench wasn't flying over any saw blades this level, and we found out he has a weird thing where he almost sticks to walls. It's hard to explain because it doesn't look any different in the video, but whenever I'm on a wall and I try and leave it, Fly Wrench has a super delayed reaction and doesn't pull away from the wall immediately. It was as if the wall had a gravitational pull and Fly Wrench's fat cheeks were preventing him from leaving orbit every time. I could not get a proper wall jump going to make it around the saw blades, and he could not get enough height to make it over the obstacle. Was this how the run was going to end? By using all of my rerolls up in just World 1? I wasn't sure, but I was willing to lose a couple teeth trying to master this unicycle known as Fly Wrench. If it meant not already using a reroll. I threw everything I had at that stupid wall jump, and eventually, I started to make progress. Instead of holding the jump, which sends you into the saw blades, you need to time your jump presses to make a bunch of short jumps. With Fly Wrench's delayed mobility for leaving the wall, this gave us enough time to finally leave its seemingly magnetic attraction to Fly Wrench. But we still had to be careful, because if we pressed or jumped too slow or too fast, we would still shoot ourselves straight into the saw blades. I put my thumb to work, and eventually I made it to the top to reach Bandage Girl. But we weren't out of the woods yet. Get it? Because it's the forest? Okay, I'll stop. We got Meat Ninja for level 3, and 3 was all the jump presses we needed before beating the level on our first try. For level 4, we got the Kid, and level 5, we got Nyjah. With their movement and abilities, we beat those levels without dying once. Level 6 was old Alien H, and 7 was Joseph. Alien Hominid made level 6 stress-free, and while Joseph isn't as smart as these new AI that can make pictures or tell you if your wife has been cheating on you, his little robot body easily allowed us to get us to the end of the level. Level 8 was the main meat man, Meat Boy. What kind of meat do you think he's made of? Oh, and I finished the level before I could collect my thought. Commander Video was up for level 9, and Ogmo was up for level 10. We struggled a bit trying to get the timing of this crumbling wall jump on level 9, but with a little resilience, we got the jump and the timing, which brought Commander Video's Rainbow Butt to the top in no time. And Ogmo was a very favorable character for level 10, as we used his double jump with utmost proficiency. We were halfway through World 1, and level 11 brought us an alien. No, not the illegal kind, but the hominid kind. We used his laser gun jump to skip a portion of the level, and we hop-skip jumped to the finish line. Level 12 was Commander Video. We had to make sure to leave enough crumbling blocks to stand on to get past this saw blade here. And after a couple of failed attempts, we managed to put our plan into action and get to the top to reach Bandage Girl. Level 13 was Ogmo. We were able to skippity-doo-dah-day all the way around each saw blade and beat this level on our first try also. Level 14 was Commander Video, and level 15 was Run Man. We almost beat level 14 on our first try, and we knew we could do it. So eventually we got the timing on the saw blade jumps and got the victory under our belt. And boy did Run Man run for level 15. We ran into the saw blades for starters. But we didn't run out of patience, because eventually we managed to run all the way to the finish line after only a couple of failed attempts. Level 16 was Steve, and while we easily could have done the level the right way, we instead cheated our way to the finish. Level 17 was Fly Wrench, but this time I wasn't afraid. After what level 2 had put me through, I felt like I had truly mastered Fly Wrench in his movement. The couple saw blades to the face did little to lower my confidence because we knew our training had prepared us for it. We quickly recomposed ourselves and beat the level. Level 18 was Jill, and level 19 was Steve. The new rotating saw blade patterns freaked me out a little bit, but I quickly found the right timing and a cheese spot. We then beat it by using Jill's slow fall ability to reach the other side unharmed. With Steve, we beat this level pretty normally. We couldn't destroy the saw blades, so we had to go over them. With a little patience though, we beat that level on our first try. We were now on level 20, and if anyone could do this level, Commander Video sure can. We died a little bit, but the biggest thing I had to worry about was destroying the crumbling blocks in the middle. If I didn't, I ran the risk of hitting my head and falling into the saw blades. We decided it was best to take this level slow. So we made sure to time each jump, watch where we stepped, and checked both ways before crossing the street. I did manage to squeeze through the gap in the middle though, and yeah, it was risky, but what's another death to our body count? We headed down the corridor of saw blades and into Banj Girl's waiting arms. And we did it! We beat the Forest Dark World. While level 2 was a big wake-up call to us and how difficult this might get, I was relieved to know I didn't have to use a reroll just yet, and that we were still 4 out of 4. But I could only hope I could say the same at the end of the next world, as we jumped into World 2, the hospital. To start off level 1, we got Nyjah. I died a lot. It seemed like many parts of this level gave us trouble with Nyjah. We weren't hard stuck, but the progress was very slow at times. But eventually we worked out a pattern to this level and we were able to make it all the way to the finish line. Level 2 was Commander Video. We did our best impression of a lemming as we jumped straight to the bottom. We nailed the timing and we simply floated over to Banj Girl. Level 3 brought us Jill. I was still familiar with this level from my Deathless Achievement run for this world, because this was one of the levels that gave me the most trouble in it. With my muscle memory still intact, I was able to flawlessly get to the end with Jill. For level 4 we got Fly Wrench. Fly Wrench is actually acceptable on this level. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong about that one. First off, what's up with Fly Wrench and his inability to do anything? For some wild reason, Fly Wrench doesn't get nearly enough upward height with a single jump out of the fan blades as other characters do. Therefore, it's almost impossible for him to reach the next fan blade, and no, his triple jump does not make up for it. I wasn't sure this level was possible. It didn't feel like it as I struggled and struggled and struggled, but I was very hesitant to use one of my rerolls already, because I would surely need as many as I could for the later worlds. I started strategizing. I ended up using a wall climb here to propel me up farther with the fan blade, and out of the corner of my eye, I noticed a single block on the backside of the 4th fan blade. I could then land on it and use it as a place to rest or rest myself if I fall. All I had to do was make sure I landed on it though. After more failed attempts, I managed to put my plan into action, and we were barely able to make it to the top to reach Banj Girl and end this horrible level and suffering. We got Meat Ninja for level 5, and I was super relieved. Level 6 was Commander Video, and I was pretty excited about that too. My brain was still in Fly Wrench mode, and we made a couple simple mistakes, but we beat it eventually because this level isn't too different from its light rolled counterpart. For level 6, we got pushed around by the fan blades like a leaf in the wind, and close to the end, I wanted to try and squeeze to the top of this level geometry to avoid the rest of the level, but I gave up and completed it normally. Level 7 was our Speedy Boy Run Man, and we beat it on our first try. All we had to do was not sprint around like an ADHD child in the mall, and just wait our turn to make it past the enemies. It was simple as that. Level 8 was Commander Video. And, as you know, Video killed the Radio Star, but many things also killed the Video Commander. In fact, we got killed by everything, like needles, spikes, gravity, and enemies in this level. They all conspired against us to keep Video from becoming a mainstream platform. Eventually though, I got the pattern down, and was able to slip and slide past everything and make it to Bandage Girl. Level 9 was Steve, and level 10 was not Joe Mama, but Joseph. There was a weird piece of geometry I couldn't break in level 9, but I just went around it. And we had plenty of practice with the fan blades for level 10, so we literally and figuratively flew through the level. For level 11, Past Me sums up everything perfectly. I think many characters could have been detrimental for this level actually, in fact, so that is a relief that we have gotten Meat Boy. For level 12, Headcrab finally showed his ugly mug. We became a little uglier after catching some saw blades to the mouth, and while Headcrab wasn't the prettiest face in this beauty pageant, I will give it to him that he was very capable when it came to this level, and after a bit of trial and error, we managed to get past all the hazards, grab the last keys, and make it to Bandage Girl. It's easy to say that I was pretty happy after that one. Let's go, dude! Let's go! We barely got Ogmo for level 13. And if we want to talk about a thing of beauty though, let's talk about how I beautifully beat this level on our first try with Ogmo's sick kickflips and barrel rolls. Level 14 was Joseph, and it was a bit of a patience game, as we had to end up waiting for the right timing to get past the enemies at the top. I ended up speeding up the footage for this part, but after we finished that, we jumped over the fan blades and made it to Bandage Girl. For level 15, we got Headcrab, and I won't lie, I actually had a lot of fun on this level with Headcrab. I know, I was just as surprised as you are. The pacing was perfect, and it felt almost like this level was made for him. Eventually, we scooted our boot to the final key, and ran over to meet our wonderful Bandage Girl. For level 16, we got Ogmo, and for level 17, we got the Kid. Their movement speed and double jump abilities allowed us to beat these two levels without dying once. We dodged those lasers like Keanu Reeves dodges bullets in The Matrix. Okay, it wasn't that impressive, but we still had to be careful of the timing for those stupid glorified laser pointers. Nonetheless, we beat them both without breaking a sweat. Level 18 was Headcrab, and I think I'll let Past Me take it away for this one. I think it's doable. That's the good news. The bad news is it's gonna be really hard. Never mind. I got this. I'm a gamer. Born and raised in Gamerville. Yes. Yes, sir, that's how we do it. Level 19 was made easy with Alien Hominid. We put his agility to good use as we quickly scaled the walls, avoiding the lasers. We climbed up the left wall and grabbed the key. We then made it to the middle and repeated the process. This was much easier to do than when we got Headcrab for the light world, so we completed this level without dying once. We were now on level 20, the final level of the hospital. Our final character was Flywrench. God gives his hardest challenges to his strongest warriors. We did die once, and while we could have went around the level like the light world, I didn't care to mess with any more of Flywrench's janky wall jumps than needed. So, I just went through the level normally. Slowly and carefully, we made it to the top, and while there was a fan blade that would normally be used to reach Bandage Girl, I was suffering from too much PTSD at the moment. So, I instead opted to use Flywrench's triple jump to reach Bandage Girl and beat the level instead. With that, we beat all the necessary levels in World 2. We haven't used any rerolls yet, and I definitely think we got lucky with some of these character rolls for this world. I was hoping that our luck would stay just a little longer, because we were going to need it as we jumped right into World 3, the Salt Factory. For level 1, we got... Hey, didn't I say something about our luck running out? Well, apparently it has run out way sooner than I could have hoped for, as we got Captain Viridian. Wow. Yeah, you said it, Past Plasma. Wow is right. I tried everything I could for this level, but nothing worked. I tried walking and jumping over the salt. We didn't have enough momentum or speed for that. I even tried flipping gravity to see if there was anything up at the top of the level, in case that would do something. Surprise, surprise, it didn't. And then the wall jumps were clearly pointless because we didn't have enough speed for that either. Like the fat kid in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, we were stuck. I mean, we didn't have many options to try as Captain Viridian, and I unfortunately didn't have any tricks up my sleeves this time to get us out of this situation. I did try a bunch though, don't get me wrong. But eventually, I knew it was hopeless, and I had to use one of my rerolls. This was the reason I gave myself a couple rerolls. We weren't even halfway through the challenge, and we are stuck. I did this rule to give myself a fighting chance, but the odds are still against me in the end. If you are one of those viewers who are upset about this rule's implementation, which I know there will be a few, you can say that this is where the video truly ended. We were not able to beat Super Meat Boy's Dark World with randomized characters without using a reroll. Thank you so much for watching. But I was going to stick with my rule of 4 rerolls, and I suggest you stick around too, because it gets intense later on. If you didn't just leave the video, we now had 3 rerolls left, and because this is the first time we've used one, I'm going to quickly explain how I'm going about this system. So, if I ever use a reroll and I land on the same character again, I'm counting it. If that happens, I will obviously need to use another reroll, which means we wasted one. This isn't favorable, but I wanted to keep it up to RNG. By re-rolling that wheel, I am punching my own card, and I won't be getting any refunds from this store. While the chances of this happening were slim, we've already gotten a couple times where we rolled the same character twice in a row. We crossed our fingers, re-rolled the wheel, and we managed to land on the kid. This was awesome. This was best case scenario in fact, as the kid's mobility and double jump would easily allow us to make it through this level. It was a big relief off my shoulders that I didn't roll Captain Viridian again. We did still die a couple times, but we got the hang of things quickly, and we finished level 1. For level 2, we got the kid again. Hey, what did I just say about having a slim chance of rolling the same character twice in a row? Is this game listening to me? Anyways, we died a couple times, but with Big Brother listening in the other room, I didn't let that stop me from getting into a good groove and flying up through the level to reach our beloved Bandage Girl. For level 3, we got Meat Ninja. His meaty ninja-like speed and agility allowed us to beat this level on the first try. For level 4, we got Nyjah. The moving conveyor belts on this level were causing us a ton of problems. I also hated having to wall jump up them to reach the top. After a few failed attempts, my brain expanded in size, as I realized I could just use Nyjah's ability to speed past the saw blades. This took a lot of trial and error. Either way, I was determined to do my funny cool strats. Not only did it look cool, I felt cool doing it, and I wanted to be the coolest cucumber when it came to this level. Eventually, we made it back up to the middle with the key, and we jumped down to Bandage Girl to beat the level. Level 5 was Steve, and level 6 was Run Man. With Steve, we didn't need to grab the key to open this conveyor belt to Bandage Girl. Instead, we just did this. And for level 6, we didn't do much running, because this was also a vertical level. Fortunately, we were able to easily make it through both of these levels and reach Bandage Girl. Level 7 was Sweet, Alien Hominid. Wait, did I say sweet? No, I meant no, bad, because I had to use another reroll on this level. This level features these conveyor belts and some keys. You're supposed to ride the conveyor belt up, grab the key, swing right, and grab the other key as it's falling. While you do, make sure that you have enough momentum to reach the middle platform with conveyor belts, and now repeat this process again. But for some reason, Alien Hominid struggled with getting the key and going to the middle platform. Most of the time, he was just barely not able to reach the key in time or return back to the platform in time. I eventually figured you could reach the middle, but it required a near-perfect blaster boost while jumping off the conveyor belt for extra height. And once I got as much height as possible, I would instead fly over the key I needed to grab, and that wasn't going to work. For us, no key means no bandage girl. Eventually, I gave in and told myself if it was possible, it wasn't worth it. I did my best impression of Super Meat Boy's girlfriend and ripped the bandage off. We used up another one of our rerolls, and that means we only had 2 chances left. Thankfully, we got Meat Boy on our reroll, and while I did struggle again with the timing, I knew this level was possible. I mostly struggled because I kept thinking I needed to return to the starting platform like Alien Hominid, but Meat Boy doesn't need to do that. He can grab the key and head to the middle platform in a single jump. We made progress little by little, and eventually, we made it to Bandage Girl. Level 8 was instantly completed with Steve, as all we did was dig through the ceiling to reach Bandage Girl. For levels 9 and 10, we got Alien Hominid twice. Luckily, we would be able to complete both of these levels as him this time. The rockets gave us a little trouble, but we soon got a hang of the timing. We were then able to grab the keys and bring our jaundiced-looking butt back to Bandage Girl. Level 11 gave us Head Crab, and we were halfway done with the Salt Factory. We died a lot trying to escape the saw blades that chased us. Like a pack of starving pit bulls, these saw blades relentlessly followed me as if I was an unsupervised child or something. The biggest problem with this level was that on the return run with the key, you had to jump back over this salt hazard. If I couldn't figure out how to finish this level soon, I was ready to start ripping hair out, and I would still undoubtedly end up using another reroll. But just like a drunk uncle, the solution hit me. In my poopy baby childlike rage, I realized that with Headcrab's wall cling ability, I might be able to cling onto the wall under the saw blades and have it pass over me. It was the only shot I had, and so I tried it, and this happened. It worked like a charm, and you can probably tell how shocked I was that it worked.
Oh, what? What? You can do that? You can do that? That's illegal? That's allowed? Edmund, you can do that? What?
We got Fly Wrench for level 12. Luckily for us, Fly Wrench was actually incredibly good for this level, as we knew from earlier that he doesn't need to leave a wall to perform another wall jump. This makes his vertical climbing speed super fast compared to other characters. So, with that, we were easily able to scale up and down the vertical wall and avoid the missiles. We did die a couple times though, but with our recent mastery of Fly Wrench, I was able to easily grab the key and make it to a waiting Bandage Girl. Level 13 was Commander Video. We did die a little on this level, but we quickly learned from our mistakes. The best part was that Commander Video wasn't recording either. Wait a minute. Eventually, I was able to get the timing right, and we made it to Bandage Girl. Ogmo was up for level 14. We died twice, but that didn't deter us, as we only had 7 levels left. We were going to complete this world strong if I had anything to say about it, even with our 2 used rerolls. We got the Kid for level 15. We climbed the sidewall like a salmon swimming up a river. Funnily enough, a salmon's #1 predator in the wild is the same as all of the Super Meat Boy characters' predators. Saw blades. Yeah, we should have seen that coming, but as a silly salmon, we didn't know any better. Thankfully, we quickly recovered, and instead, we just went up the backside of this level and avoided more unwanted saw blade attacks. Level 16 brought us Ogmo, and we beat this level on the first try. The saw blades tried to ambush us this time, and they circled around us like bloodthirsty sharks. But in the end, we prevailed. I didn't think the saw blades were going to be too happy with us beating them like that though, so I could only hope their wrath would be manageable. We rolled Ogmo again for level 17, and the saw blades formed an alliance with the missile launchers. I could hardly escape them. As they pummeled my butt cheeks with rockets, I pummeled my jump button with my thumb. I knew this level wasn't going to be a cakewalk, but I definitely underestimated how much hurt these missile launchers could hand out. My hands began to sweat. My thumb began to cramp. I didn't know how long this endurance game could last, but I knew I had to stay strong. Eventually, I managed to get a good run and crawled my way to Bandage Girl, bruised and beaten. I thought I would be good for level 18 when I got Joseph, but it was a trap! The Saw Blades had seemingly set up a coordinated attack to finish the job. They haven't been documented as pack hunters before. What's going on here? Are they unionizing? Unfortunately for them, I didn't have any desire to join their union, as I was busy figuring out some weak points in their attack pattern. Eventually, I grabbed the key and made it back to Bandage Girl.
Let's go! Let's fucking go, dude!
Level 19 gave us Alien Hominid, and I was pissed at these last levels, so I had to show these stupid missile launchers who was boss by beating this level on my first try. For the final level, we got Run Man. He was just who we needed as we ran past the missile launchers with ease. With a little bit of lag in the recording at the end, I had successfully grabbed the key to Bandage Girl, waited my turn, and we smashed this level with flying colors. And with that, everybody, we beat every base level of the Dark World Salt Factory. After some difficulties and a bit of bad luck, our new reroll count is at 2 out of 4. But we still had 2 whole worlds left in front of me, and they are harder than anything we've done so far. Will I be able to keep up with the heat that hell has in store for me? Will I run out of luck and be left behind in the rapture? Can I overcome the incredible odds that lie in front of me? Or will I fail before we see the final level? There's only one way to find out, and that's by watching the second part of Can You Beat Super Meat Boy's Dark World with randomized characters? Thank you so much for watching.